Sometime in the 90s, I discovered a wonderful book called Hart, Island by Melinda Hunt and Joel Sternfeld, and it chronicled Manhattan's Hart Island, which many of you know is the Potter's Field in Long Island Sound, where the unknown lie forgotten. And once cataloged, now often those records have been lost or damaged, and the uses to which Hart Island has been put through the time of its existence, which is well over a century, it's kind of a mirror to the history of the United States. It's a really interesting and fascinating history, a kind of shadow history of all that we know of American history. So I'm going to read two sections from the long poem about Hart Island, which was inspired by Melinda Hunt's images, photographs, and also her online Hart Island project, which is connecting many people who've lost their loved ones to what happened to them and to what their final fate actually can be found to be. And this is section 7. This is actually about one unusual grave which is set apart from all the others. It gives you a little bit of how things operate in Hart Island too, or have operated in the past. Of children, infants, immigrant or native, 19th century clerks in cursive hand preserved the full name, birthplace, cause of death, until too many lives, too many deaths broke down the custom. Later burial books yield last names only, as if children died in numbers past all hope of keeping records up to date. Wound, injury, or illness labeled confidential or left blank. The grave of one child, though, is an exception. Far from the baby trenches, common graves that hold 1,000 children, set apart in deep woods, hidden by grass, the concrete marker SCB1, 1985, warns off those who approach New York's first child to die of AIDS. The mother of the one already dead, a body set aside in fear, forgotten, no one's son or daughter. And the other section I'll read brings Jacob Riis, the documentary photographer so important to urban history, into the picture too. He took some of his first photos at Hart Island. And also this section talks a little bit about what the prisoners who bury the dead undergo and think about as they pursue their duty. It's correctional facility prisoners who do the burying on Hart Island, in case that's something you haven't heard about. Barbed wire tops the fence. Guards watch the shore today where prisoners, half entrenched, receive those that the earth will keep, as men have done here for some portion of 3 centuries. When space was needed, New York found it here, a madhouse, workhouse, women's hospital, and more had roots here once, before they failed, contributing their share among the dead. Once, Riis recalled, struck by the shuffling host of women taking their therapeutic walk in dresses asylum gray, dead-eyed or manic, he heard from a barred cell near one woman singing, "Oh, how my heart grows weary," while the ranks of lunatics, as he called them, stirred or screamed, rankled, elated by sound. On this tour of the Blackwell's Women's Sanitarium, whose overflow Hart Island housed and held, a hopeless case, her doctor murmured, turning, escorting Riis politely on his way. Hart Island's men, who clear the pits, are saying, the ferry they await will bring the morgue truck, which in turn will make its way to them along paved roads or mud trails, sun or rain. The convicts know its cargo is themselves, or might as well be. None is in a rush, most of the time, to start the job or finish. What is the final plot or destination of the plywood coffins that they bear, or of the stranger that each box contains? Names aren't needed. Sharing each long trench, boxed bodies lie arranged in rows, mass graves soon to be filled with the unbefriended dead. All those who die unclaimed, erased at last. I used to joke, just throw me in the ditch, I won't mind when I'm dead. Now, I'm not sure. Maybe I'll write a will when I get out so I don't end up in a place like this. The few on burial detail nod their heads.